He was trying to loosen up. He was, drinking last night.
As soon as this game's over.
Bring every fucking money with him.
As soon as the fucking game is over, maybe I'll be in there having a couple of My blood sugar was 89 today.
What town was he from? Did you notice that?
Hello.
Top of the morning. How you doing?
How you doing? Yeah, that's it, Dave. How you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, right here about Coach. Remember?
Better draft. You gotta bear down on this draft. I told him what you said about it last night. Shoot. There's the guy who's saying everything about you last night.
Where are you going to go?
Look at that nice hat Harmon's got on.
He's going to do it again this year.
Hey, Lou, isn't that a nice hat Harmon's got on?
Oh, yeah. Hey, that's great. All right. Where's Ralph? Hey, your hat.
You got it.
Got your cap, right?
Yeah, I see
Hey,
where
Rob.
the jersey went now.
Good morning. It's too loud. We'd like to welcome you all to the Ultimate Baseball Camp. My name's Terry Reynolds, Director of Dodger Town. We're honored and pleased to have you all here with us this week, and we're looking forward to a great week. Forecast is better, but it's not better until Saturday, so we hope we can hang in there with this weather for the next couple days, and I'm sure Guy will tell you our philosophy on bad weather. I just want to give you a couple of camp rules so there are no embarrassments and so everybody gets through the week in as best condition as possible. We ask that you don't have any guests in the rooms or the dining rooms or the clubhouse areas during the course of the week. This camp is for you guys and for you guys alone. We want you to have the best possible week. We don't want to have any strangers that we might be embarrassed about tossing out of the buildings or that you guys might be embarrassed about that we have to ask them to leave. So no guests during the course of the week in any of the Dodger Town buildings. Please wear proper attire in the dining room. That just means no shorts, no cutoffs, no thongs, shirts with collars. And you may forget the first couple days and one of the Hall of Famers or one of the staff people might remind you. But we just try to keep the dining room in as classy as condition as we can during the meals, so we ask that you cooperate there. Again, I just want to welcome you here, tell you that we're really happy to have you here and hope you have a great week. And at this point, I would like to introduce Craig Callan, who's the general manager of the Dodgertown Sports and Conference Center. Craig will go over a couple more of the rules with you, and Craig and his staff are the people that really put this camp together and put it on. I'm sure you've seen his name or his secretary's name on correspondence over the course of the years. He's a great guy, and if there's anything that he or I or Guy can do for you during the course of the week or any suggestions that you have, please feel free to give them to any one of the three of us. Craig Callan.
Thanks, Terry. As Terry had mentioned, Terry, Guy, and myself work very closely together on these camps. For those of you who aren't aware, this is our third Ultimate Adult Baseball Camp. We've also had 5 Los Angeles Dodger Adult Baseball Camps, so this is our 8th camp. It's really great to see these camps growing like this, just not in attendance, because every year the attendance grows, but also in the quality. This is really due to the input that we have gotten from our veterans. Last year, we had 50% in our November camp of the participants were veteran returnees. And from all of that, we just continue to grow as far as making changes in game rules, etc. Guy will be going over all of that. This camp, we've got over 25% of the participants are veterans. We've got guys such as Frank Jacobson, who hasn't missed a camp yet. He's been to all 8 camps. Junior, I think, is out here today. I think he missed 1983 camp, the first one, but he's been to all the others. I believe the next guy down the line is Norman, sitting next to Junior. This is his, what, fifth camp? Fifth camp. So I did want to thank all of you guys, because what we've seen in the past camps is with the veterans here, it really builds a lot of camaraderie. For you rookies, feel free to get with all the veterans. As a matter of fact, in past camps they've mentioned, have the rookies come to us, ask any questions that they might have, because they really do know the ropes. So feel comfortable getting with all of the 20 veterans that are here. As we've stated to the veterans in the past, we want all of you to experience the same training as the Dodgers experienced during spring training. They'll be arriving 2 days after you depart. You depart on the 16th, and the pitchers and catchers and non-roster players arrive here on the 18th. A little extra treat for us this year is the day that you depart, we're hosting a Japanese team, the Chunichi Dragons. They'll be here for about 3 weeks, and will stay until our minor league system arrives, which arrives around the 6th or 7th. So please, because of this, you know, the camp being designed to give you that authentic experience, such as the Dragons and the Dodger teams will get in spring training, let us know if there's anything else that we can do to improve the camp. Go to Guy, go to Terry, go to any of the other staff people, and we'll be glad to discuss it. We'll also be having, I'm not sure what night, Guy will go over that also, but a veterans meeting where we collect a lot of input from all of the veterans that have been in previous camps. Besides the Hall of Famers that we have here today, we also have, and the minor league instructors from the Dodger organization and the trainers, we have a few key individuals here that we have on our staff that you'll be seeing all week. If they're here, I'll introduce them to you. Let's see, we have a ground supervisor, Carol Thomas. She's probably out working on one of the other fields, getting them ready for you now. But if you see a young lady, it's her first year here, and she's doing a super job. She's in charge of all the fields, the 2 golf courses, and all the other areas at the Dodger complex. We have Herb Sharfman here. He's the gentleman over to my right. He's the Dodger photographer for the last 40 years, Herb? Since 48, that's 40 years. He'll be doing all the black and white shots. That'll be sent to the different newspapers and to the media for coverage for the camp and to your hometown newspapers. Speaking of pictures, we've got Jack Duckworth, who'll be taking all the color pictures. I don't know where Jack is. Oh, Jack's up there. The gentleman over there on my left, up in the stands. He'll be responsible for taking your baseball card pictures, your team pictures, and also all the action shots during the week. Now, the action shots will be posted in the locker room every day, and if you see something that you like, you can go to Jack, and they are available for purchase. But basically, Jack's here to take all of those color pictures. Speaking of pictures, you also get a 2-hour video. It'll be about a month or 2 after the camp because of all the editing. We'll also be playing back all the raw footage of these videos every night and afternoon in the lounge. The people responsible for the video over to my left is Dan Giller and his daughter Claudia over there. The other person I wanted you to recognize, because you'll be dealing with him a lot this week, is our equipment manager. He's over to the right next to Bill Bueller, our trainer, Jack Nobi Kawana Snow. So anything that you need, if your equipment isn't just right, please see Jack. Also, if there's anything that you need to purchase, just go ahead into the equipment room, and Jack and his staff will be glad to help you. As we mentioned, Terry, Guy, myself, and the rest of the staff will be here all week. We just want you to have a super time, enjoy the week, and if there's anything else, please let us know. We'll be try to make it the best camp ever. I'd like now to introduce a gentleman that has numerous responsibilities in the Dodger organization. He coordinates the Dodgers at the Arizona Instructional League. All of the field activities during spring training is coordinated by him. Scout for many years. Many years. Recently, this year, he was appointed the field supervisor for the entire Dodger minor league system. And the man who runs this camp, Guy Woolman.
that field supervisor title, I've got to get all the crabgrass out of all the fields in the entire Dodger organization, and that's tough to do. Well, again, let me welcome you here to our third Ultimate Hall of Fame baseball camp. My job is to set up the schedules, see that you get the training that you need to become a better baseball player. I've got the broad shoulders. I will listen to anybody. Anybody has any problems, come see me. I will see if I can't get your mind free of those problems. Sex life, anything you want, talk to me about it, I'll do it. Now, I want you to know, Craig alluded to the fact that we have a veterans meeting every year, and we take the suggestions and the ideas from you veterans in these camps, and we try to put them into effect to make each and every camp a better camp. Some of the examples, the scoreboard out there, the first camp or two, we didn't use that scoreboard. For every game that's played over here, we now use that scoreboard, and it has really made a big difference. The campers griped for a number of years that we didn't have lighter wooden bats. Now we've got lighter wooden bats for everybody. Most of the game rules that we've got now, you fellas have made. So we've taken everything that we can from you, we picked your brains, we try to make these camps better each and every year. Now, today, I'm going to introduce these Hall of Famers, and I'm just going to introduce them with just a word or two, and I want you to take these bios that each and every one of you got in your rooms, go through these, read these, and see what type of instructors you've got here. You've got some guys that really run up some great stats. First man I want to introduce. What is it, Roy? Number 1 or number 2 excuse today? Number 1, flat tire. One of baseball's greatest catchers, Roy Campanella. Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks. Baseball's all-time leading base stealer, Lou Brock. The Big D, the big warrior of the Dodgers, Don Drysdale. 6-time All-Star, 7 straight World Series games, and he's still dressing, Bob Gibson. You should have brought Gibby over with you on that thing. Pitched a perfect game against the Minnesota Twins in '68 and won the American League Cy Young Award '74. We welcome for the first time Catfish Hunter. 573 career home runs, Harmon Killebrew. I want to say that Juan Marichal was listed to come here. And Juan's mother is very, very sick, and he just cannot make it. So we're sorry that he isn't here. Robin Roberts, one of the ace of the Philly staff. Only player to ever be selected most valuable player in both leagues, Frank Robinson. The Duke, Duke Snyder. Still studying trying to pick out his lineup over in the clubhouse and hasn't made it over here yet. The winningest left-handed pitcher in baseball, Warren Spahn. 6 years of having an ERA of less than 2, White Wilhelm. Considered one of baseball's premier hitters, Billy Williams. Now, the Dodger staff of the young people that you're going to get to know, and they're going to do a lot of work for you. These guys will spend extra time with you in hitting, fielding, anything you want. Leo Posado, who's our hitting instructor. Terry Collins, the manager of our winning Albuquerque Dukes. John Shoemaker, the manager of the Vero Beach Dodgers. Chico Fernandez, our prime infield instructor in the minor leagues. Joe Alvarez, the winning manager of the Sarasota entry. Dennis Llewellyn, the pitching coach from the Vero Beach Club. Now, these guys will work with you and do anything you want. Just make sure that you ask them some questions, and they will help you any way they can. Now let's go over a couple of things here that we get it all straightened out. Let's go, first of all, we are a safety-oriented camp. We want to make sure that everybody gets out of here healthy. Some rules that we've just got to follow. Wear batting helmets at bat, in the cages, and running the bases. When you warm up, and our instructors will show you this morning, warm up all in the same direction. If you don't warm up in the same direction, somebody's liable to get beamed. Do not leave baseballs in a glove on the field, because you know what could happen. You just picture if you were running or even walking and somebody's got a baseball in a glove and you accidentally stepped on that, you're liable to turn your ankle. Do not, and repeat, do not lean against the batting cages when live hitting is being taken. You lean against the batting cage and somebody can let that bat go or a foul ball come and it hits you in the mouth. Batting cages. This is the most dangerous area we have. So you have to be careful. There's no problem if you're careful. Make sure the batting machines are turned off before entering or leaving the cages. Step back when you get in and watch a couple pitches before you step in to take your swings. And always wear your batting helmets over there. Duke Snyder will be over there all day long in the batting cages. In fact, we very seldom let Duke out of those cages. He will be working with you over there every day. We would suggest that you, in the batting cages, you use the metal cage, the metal bats, because that's going to save your hands and thumbs from early injuries. And also use that direct protect that they put in your locker for the first few days. It's no good in your locker, so bring it out. It'll help your thumb. Okay, anybody have any questions on that at all? All right, now let me explain a couple other things. We're going to have today a session this morning where we're going to divide you up with the outfielders in one group, infielders all in a group, and the pitchers and catchers all in a group. We would like to have you change positions during the camp. Don't always play the same position. If you think you can pitch, tell your manager you can pitch. We're looking for somebody all the time that can throw strikes. That's all you have to do is throw strikes, and you can pitch. What slows the game down are the base on balls, and the base on balls come from guys who want to put a little bit extra on the ball. If you stay within yourself, you're going to throw strikes, and that's all you need to do. So today you're going to go out and you're going to be in those three groups. You're going to hit.
Showing you up, Spotty. He's trying to show you up.
Very good. See? What did I tell you? I won the bets. I knew he'd have a good excuse. Today when you go out, you're going to have the three groups. You're going to work all morning long. The managers and the coaches are all going to be around you. They're going to write your names down on a piece of paper, and at 12:15, all of them are going to meet over in the Campanella room, and we're going to have a draft. We will draft you so that there will be 6 complete teams. You will play a 5-game schedule. Each team will play 1 game in the morning. When you play that game in the morning, you have an option in the afternoon. You can either come out and work out in the afternoon, or you can go to your room and you can rest, you can play golf, anything you want to on that 1 day only. A lot of times, last year we found out that a lot of the guys like to take that afternoon and go home and just rest their body for a while. So you've got an option on that. But every team will play 1 game in the morning. The rest of the games will be played in the afternoon. There'll be 2 every afternoon. That was, as was reported, after tonight in the lounge, beginning tonight, there will be 2 games shown, right? 2 games shown, 1 on each end of the lounge. So they will be showing the raw footage of the games that you played in a day. and they're always very interesting. Now, let me go over the game rules. Now, we went over last night, we had a meeting with all the managers, and they're the ones that we really have to go over these rules with, because we have found in the past that there has been some cheating. And they try to get outside of the rules a little bit. And that's why we have it printed up. We're going to have one of these put in each of the lockers. We'll have two put in Robin Roberts' locker. One's going to stay right with him all the way around. All right, all players who are able to play will be listed every day in the batting order. There are 14 players on each team. Every day, all 14 players will be listed in the batting order, and you will hit in that order every day. The next game's order, the following day, will begin with the player behind the final out of the day before. Now, the reason we do this is so that everybody gets an equal number of times at bat. This will ensure all campers an equal time at bat. On defense, all campers who are healthy should play at least 4 or 5 innings on defense. Now, you work with your manager on that. We use our team coaches to pitch only in one game, and that will be today. The young coaches will pitch in today's game only, and they pitch against their own team. The managers will encourage you guys, team members, to attempt pitching and catching assignments. Switch positions, as I mentioned before. Now, this is another rule that we put in last year, and we found out this really helped speed up the game, and it also prevented leg injuries. This is the most common injury we have down here, is the pulled hamstring, pulled muscles, and it is no base stealing. There is no base stealing. Now, how do these managers try to get around that? They will put on a hit and run. And they'll say, if the guy misses, well, we weren't base stealing, we're hit and running. Now, we've taken that away from them. If a runner is used in a hit and run play or takes a big lead off to take advantage of this rule, the opposing catcher need only throw the ball to the first baseman, and he just tags that base before the runner gets back, the runner's out. If the catcher throws the ball away while trying to pick the runner off, the runner must first return, tag the base before advancing. Baseball rules are going to apply everywhere except on no base running. With a runner on base, since there's no base stealing, the pitcher, you pitchers, can either take a wind-up or a stretch. You can pitch from a wind-up or a stretch position. There are no intentional walks in our games. And the reason, I'll give you a reason why we had to do that. In the Dodger camp a few years ago, we got right down to the last game meant the championship. And Ron Peronowski, one of our managers who loves to cheat and get around all the rules, had an 80-year-old man on the bench. He walked 3 guys in a row to get to that guy to win the game. So we have no intentional walk. And by the way, he won the game. I had never had so many campers so furious that day. Now, with the injuries that we do get with the legs, we may use substitute runners for injured players. But the last man to make it out in the lineup is that runner. You see why we have to put that in? Because these managers would put the fastest guy they got in to run all the time. So it's the last man to make an out in the lineup that becomes that runner. Now, sometimes in the middle of the week when you want to hit, but you can't run to first base, we can have a runner for the hitter. We will have a line drawn back of home plate. And the only thing I ask you on this, 2 things. You cannot start running to first base until the batter makes contact. And 2, don't stand up there and look at the batter, because a foul ball can come off and hit you in the face. Just turn your back to it a little bit, and as soon as you hear the contact, take off and run. Now, runners may advance. Instead of stealing, runners may advance on a pass ball or a wild pitch. 1 base only. We use the circle. It's a big circle around the home plate. anytime the ball gets beyond that circle onto the grass, off the dirt onto the grass, the umpire automatically gives him one base. Norman. They've made the circles all the same, Norman. They're all cut out just right now. They're big. I wish I could take that off there and show you how big it is, Norm. Okay. See, that's a lawyer in him. I saw that hand creeping up right away. Once the ball crosses that line, the umpire is automatically going to advance the runner one base. Now, if the catcher drops the ball or the ball goes in the dirt, the runner can advance. He's not stealing. He's attempting to go on a pass ball. In a case of a tie, at the end of the camp, in the case of a tie in the league standings, first it's head-to-head competition counts, and if we can't get the result desired, last fall we had 3 teams tied for first place and they all had beaten each other. Then we will go to a run differential in all games. Now very quickly I'm going to run through the final game rules when you play the Hall of Famers. The winning team of our Grapefruit League will play the first and second innings. All other teams will play 2 innings according to the final standings of the league. Every camper will bat at least one time. At least half the team will bat in the first 2 innings allotted to them, and the manager will sit with your club and manage the team. The instructors will always be the home team. There's a limit of 2 runs per inning for the instructor unless, and I use this example, let's say that we've got 2 runners on and Billy Williams is at bat and he hits one out of the park, it's a 3-run home run. We count that run. Well, I changed. There were so many complaints last night about me using Lou that every night there will be a schedule in your room. Go over your schedule, see what you're going to do the next day. I have a bullhorn. You'll hear that this morning. When I blow that bullhorn, that's the time for you to change stations. Every half hour, you're going to move to a different station. In other words, today, you may be at the batting cages for a half hour. You may have live hitting for a half hour. You may have defense for a half hour. You may have a rundown play or bunt situations for a half hour. Every half hour, I'll blow that horn, and you will rotate. Be prompt. We ask you to be prompt because we've got to try to keep everything on schedule. We'd like to have you hustle along when you hear that bullhorn and go to your next station. Now, this is the last thing I want to say. I can look right now up in the faces of this group, and I see a lot of you saying to yourself, what in the hell am I doing here? How am I going to get through this week? I'm going to be embarrassed. I'm not going to have any fun. That's all a bunch of malarkey. You are going to have the greatest week of your life here. The thing that you want to do is take advantage of all of these Hall of Famers. How many people in this country have the opportunity to have all of these Hall of Famers in the lounge, in the dining room, out in the field, and you guys be around them? There are very few. You're a select few. Take advantage. Ask questions. These guys will answer any of your questions. Don't leave this camp without your questions answered. I want you to have a lot of fun, enjoy yourself, take care of yourself. If you have any injuries, I want you to go in and see the trainers. Get it taken care of promptly. We very seldom lose anybody out of this camp. If you take care of yourself and you be careful, you're going to finish the whole week and you're going to have a great time. Make this one of the greatest experiences you've ever had. Now, let me introduce a fellow who will talk a little bit more about the injuries. I want to introduce the trainers. Rob Giesecke And this question right off your top of your head is, what is a Giesecke? That is Rob Giesecke, the trainer from Vero Beach. Stand up, Gies. Charlie Strasser, trainer of the Los Angeles Dodgers. And the man that I'm going to introduce now will talk to you a little bit about injuries and stretching. The stretching is very important. This is one of the things that helps you get through here. We're going to stretch you not only in the morning, we're going to stretch you in the afternoon, we're going to stretch you at the end of the day. Bill Bueller.
What I have to say really doesn't mean much today. Whoa. Sunscreen's really important. But I mean it. We have it with us all the time. Be sure you put it on. The sun can really tear you up here really fast. The other item is fluids. For every 12 ounces of beer you have, you should have at least 24 ounces of water. So some of you guys owe an awful lot of water, I know that. We'll be around with the cart, have the Gatorade and water, but really watch the fluids. You don't think you're perspiring that much, especially today, but you are losing water, and we want to make sure that you don't pull a muscle just from body imbalance. The other thing, new shoes. If you feel any hot spots in your shoes, you're getting a blister, let's change them. Take care of those blisters so you can keep on going. You'll be stiff and sore otherwise without having blisters on your feet. The two areas you worry about is guys.
We throw over, he was too close to you. So that's going to be your guideline.
Step up about 20 feet. All right, let's continue.
Smaller than a softball, isn't it? Yeah. Throw me a ball. Oh, thank you. You're about there.
What do you say there? Not much? You know, in this group, they take instruction first. That one feel wet, guy. Imagine I'm holding up on it. That one feel wet. We didn't cover that last time. But they got the crank out for the airport, I think.
No.
What the hell? You know, dude. Hey, looking good.
David, you got that, David? Hey, David, you got that damn glove on. You didn't put that down here. David, you hear me? David, you got that glove on your hand. You didn't put that down here.
Is it easy to do that? With these distances?
You talking to me? Yeah, you didn't put that down here.
Every time.
That's because my girlfriend bought this for me and didn't know, I figured you need more guys behind the plate than out here.
Okay, because I'm looking, I'm saying, what the hell? I don't see that down here.
I keep it skinny.
a guy gets back here and his body's going forward, you know, his delivery's got to be flat, unless you're a side wheeler that, you know, like Drysdale used to pitch. But I'm saying, think in terms of being round. You can't let your body get out in front before your arm is in position to throw. And everything happens out here, and then if you do get locked back here, you're going to drop your elbow, and then you're going to be pushing the ball, and then you're pushing it high.
And that's one of the biggest problems. I can tell you right now, one of the biggest problems, as far as I'm concerned, is the pitchers that get their body way out here and their arm's still laying here, and you're trying to catch up. Regardless of what you stride, if you get your arm going back, while you're back on this leg, get your arm going and get it, you know, I don't care what your stride is as long as your arm is up here, right?
Well, I think, you know, one of the things too where you get a lot of guys get in that trouble, and I look at them today, and you guys watch them, but they get side saddled. And one of the big things, they get side saddled over here because your butt gets tired in the spring, you get sore down here, so you look for an easy way out. Now all of a sudden this feels pretty comfortable. Well, if I'm throwing here at neck, and all of a sudden I'm side saddling here, what's the easiest thing for me to do is get over here, and all of a sudden I'm here, and my goddamn arm is here. And it's the same
you see
thing.
where he was? That back was like
back
this.
Here. But it's the
I
same
think
thing
your
in a
body's gotta
golf
be
swing.
compact.
You want to try and keep it as square. You want to try and make it turn, and then I always think about this shoulder being when they say in here, they stay within yourself. Well, within yourself maybe it's keeping everything compact and going here and keeping this shoulder here and then rotating on through. But boy, that side saddle thing, that'll get you in more goddamn trouble.
The answer to his question about stride, it makes your arm
try to catch up.
drag. Yeah.
You're actually
I'd like to give you some food for thought. You guys that like to pitch, have an idea about pitching, think in terms of your front leg being shorter than the leg that you drive with. And if you do that, then you're going to throw over the front of this knee, and you're going to be throwing through the ball. You're going to be driving the ball. You know, so many guys want to push the ball to throw hard. Wrong. I think you sort of get pulled down on the ball to throw it that way. And you'd be surprised, you know, like an outfielder, carry the ball. Of course, everybody doesn't throw over the top. And I like to give a kid a rock and have him throw it in the water and see where he throws from. And that's his natural place to throw. So you don't have to emulate or copy anybody else. You know, there's no one way to throw, but whatever is comfortable for you, for your own physical makeup.
Up, you've lost everything, that's where you hurt your arm.
And really, a lot of people talk about the release point. Release point. What is the release point? Where is it? Now, you know, I've been a minor league pitching instructor down the Yankee organization for many years, and I work with kids every year. And another very important thing, as far as I'm concerned, about pitching and control is right here, having it thinking where you're throwing the ball. Eventually, then you'll be correcting your release point right there. Get to where you can hit him down here in the right knee or throw it around there. But you will never get it as long as you just pick the ball up and play catch. And I have young pitchers, and I'm sure all these other guys do that work with them, that they go out there, they got a good arm, but they just can't. It takes some of them a hell of a time, and some of them maybe never, to get control of their pitching. And if you're throwing just basically fastballs, you should be able to get control of it and be able to spot it. I'm talking about throwing it low, high, whatever. And really what I tell guys, and I think this is pretty true, if you got a pretty good fastball, you can spot it a little bit, and got any kind of breaking ball, you can get them all over the plate, you can pitch.
Robbie, what do you look at me when you say that?
Well, you got the ball over the plate.
No, you know, the one thing I found out about anything connected with baseball, it's such a natural sport. I once was at a hearing, a Senate hearing, and Casey Stingle got on and talked, and like only Casey could do, and he had the world confused. And Mickey Mantle was the next speaker, and he got up and he said, "I agree with everything Casey said," and he sat down. Now that's the way it is with description about pitching. Now these guys, you know, we did the job and we were successful, and the more we talk about it, even we can get confused, because it is basically just throwing it, and the guy that pitches is the guy that's got a good arm. And if you confuse him too much and take away that naturalness, the thing that helped me most from a 19-year-old guy that just threw it to a guy that could pitch and control is I would get in the same position here before I started forward all the time. So that's kind of like Don was talking about the golf swing. I can't do it with a damn golf swing, but I could do it in baseball. I would turn this way and get in the same position before I started forward. You can't make many mistakes if you get correctly set up back here. And the rest of it, one of the things that I've noticed with young guys, and nothing hurts a pitcher more, is they come here and then they come here. And they start with here. And you can't rush from there to there and get your body on the pitch. As far as I'm concerned, as you're throwing in the outfield, you drop your arm back. You do the same thing pitching. You get your arm back right away. So now when you come forward, you're cocked and ready to go. You can't pitch. So if you see guys, young guys, if you're working with young guys, and you see a kid with a good arm at about 16 years old, he can be a pitcher. But the big thing, I remember Louis Aparicio played short for us when I was with Baltimore. I don't remember him. No one threw prettier than Louis. Louis, go in the hole, he'd set up. And I used to ask him if he ever pitched. Well, he did as a kid.
That's the guy that's in good position. If you're standing there like this.
The guy who says I got it last in the back.
Keep saying I got it.
Well,
you keep saying you're the first guy there. The guy, like Lou said, you know the distance that you were away from each other.
Right.
You should know about where you had to go to get to the ball, and the other guy had to go. If he had a shorter distance, then you should let him have it. Both of you are calling for it. We worked off the center fielder, but we don't want you guys doing that here.
It's the
We have no true center fielders here.
Paul Blair is the first guy that calls it. If two guys are calling mine, the first guy that calls it, or is the last one that calls it?
Well, go back to what Frank said. Okay, now, normally, if we're playing 20 feet apart, so you know you got 10 feet to go, I got 10 to go. If you got there and you said, I got it, normally you would cover that. When whatever you're using that on, let's say if Paul Blair was here.
We're 20 feet apart, as Lou said. You move 5 feet.
Right.
To catch the ball. I'm coming 15 feet.
Right.
You're gonna.
He's late. Then you got to back away because he called first.
No.
You pick up his mistake.
Yeah, that's right.
I got it. He knows he's in trouble.
Yeah.
See? So you just holler, I got it. So he'll back off. What I'm trying to say, if you both come into the ball, it's nice and comfortable.
Let me tell you when that is. Let me clarify what I said about the last man, first man who calls it, and the next guy. If I played alongside Kirk Flood, who was the Golden Glove. Flood said I got it. I got the hell out of there. I might have made 2 steps. I got out of there. But you don't have that here. You might have it here. But in that case, when a sure man, you know he has a Golden Glove, and he said, I got it, and he said it convincingly.
He said, take it. Answer him right away.
Well, that's the old
Come on, Kurt, you got it. It is, really. You've seen balls drop in the outfield in the major leagues and say, how could that happen? Because 2 outfielders backed off. Lack of communication. It happens. It's very important. I got it, I'll try it, you got it, take it, whatever. It's important. So you have to talk a little bit. Okay?
One other area I'd like to cover. Sometime in the outfield, we have a tendency to become ready, and we stay this way. The pitch is thrown, and you're ready. The pitch is thrown, you're ready. I used to have trouble with that, and I'm sure a lot of outfielders do. You can make yourself become ready on every pitch. Jim Pearsall did it a certain way. Every time the guy had the ball, he made a step in here. He was ready on the pitch. Whichever way it is done, I'm sure Billy did it one way, Frank did another one. Peek out. You're gonna peek, and now you can't move. So the idea thing is to become ready, the pitch is thrown, the decision is made by the hitter is go past the hitter, now you can relax. There's nothing wrong with going right back in that position. Back off. Hit. And then there it is. So I think getting in position on every pitch is going to be important for you all here. Number one, in this fantasy camp, you said it earlier, I mean, Guy said it, nobody wants to be embarrassed, and sometimes you ask them, what am I doing here? So now, that's not even an issue. What am I doing here? Because you're here. as important as communicating with your fellow man. Because those two things are the things.
How about dropping on one knee the ground ball, sending three, keeping 20?
Well, Frank and Billy covered that. I never dropped. Every time they would pass.
All the time, try to keep the ball in front of you because you're not going to throw anybody out. The most important thing is just going down, keeping the ball in front of you.
I know somebody. I want to go.
Yeah, hold that for a second. When you go down, this is the normal way. You know, if nobody's on base, you come in. You want to make sure you catch the ball. Throw the ball in the second base. You know, well, as I said a few minutes ago, you're not going to throw too many people out. So you want to, if you're a right-hander, you want to put the right foot in front and just get down. You know, get down with the ball and make sure you follow the ball in the glove. Try to keep it in front of it. That's all. You can get down on one knee.
If you're right-handed, you want your left foot.
Yeah. I don't like going down on one knee because to me it makes you become defensive. Okay? You're so rigid when you go down to me. Your hands tighten up, your forearms tighten up, you wind up the ball, you're bouncing off of them, you're going through. But as Billy said, you can go down, just make sure you get down in, get the glove in here, and get down and catch. Watch the ball into the glove. So don't be in a rush.
Let me.
You're going to miss it anyway. I mean, the ball, you have actually locked yourself into position, your butt is up, and you think your glove is down. I mean, it's easy when they said down, your behind should come down. Now it's easy to put this glove down.
I had a habit, and I'm sure a lot of you might have the same habit. I used to come at a ball, and I had my glove this way. I'm coming at this ball, just like I get here, I would turn. And I used to turn the ball out that way, that way, all because when I got to here, I would do this, and which was a habit. And it took me about 3 or 4 years to break this habit. I'm sure some of you are going to have that same habit.
That's when you were trying to get traded from the Cubs.
In addition to that, if you don't bend your knees, your butt is in the air.
Loose side of the ball.
And now you're locked. Your knees are locked. And it's hard to do it, hard to do it. So your flexibility.
When I was playing extra football, we 3 yards in a cloud of dust. These kids are throwing 15 for 30 in the ball game now. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, you almost never threw a pass in high school football.
Plano High School in Dallas won the state champion 2 years in a row.
Which catcher?
Well, until Carter hurt his knees so bad,
yeah,
he could do everything, but he got his knees banged up some kind of way.
There aren't many quality catches around anymore either. Nobody seems to want to catch anymore.
Well, how can you blame the kid?
Why? It's a good position.
Today,
it's the quarterback of the team.
Yeah, the kid says today, catching is too tough. It's not tough. The position you don't know how to play is tough. You know, each major league team damn near today carries 3 catches. 3.
Yeah. How about in your days, 2?
2. But you always had somebody else out there. When I come up with the team, Hodges, our first baseman, he was, he was the 3rd string catcher when I come up.
Oh, really?
And they made him, DeRocher made him a first baseman. And was the best in the league. But he was the 3rd string catcher.
Who was second string catcher? Bruce Edwards?
Oh, Bregan, right.
Bregan came up as a shortstop, too. He became a catcher later.
Good old Grayfield. And Bruce Edwards, the 1st string catcher, they put him on 3rd base.
Well, he hurt his arm there, didn't he? And that about ended his career.
Well, and then they made me, DeRocher made me the 1st string catcher.
Yeah.
And I caught every day. But we had 3 catchers on the infield. Hodges, Edwards, and myself.
They're out trying to figure that one out. During his prime, I'm talking about right now. You know, what do you got for catches there? You have nothing.
If you're good, Socha's not bad.
No, Socha's excellent too. But Yeager was.
Well, the only thing Yeager never could hit.
No, that's the only problem.
But see, just as I said, catching is the defensive position. Catching, second base, shortstop, center field. These are defensive positions. You look for defense more than offense.
Sure. Go to the outfielders for the hitting.
If these guys are not good defensively, Your team is hurt. It's true. Defense. You know one thing, you could hit 340, but if you let in so damn many runs, you can always let in more runs than you can hit it.
That's true. Probably hit 270 and be a great catcher. Better you could hit 340 and be a terrible catcher.
You could hit 200.
But he's not that great a catcher either.
What? Check the averages in the league. See what catcher is a good hitter.
Not much anymore.
No.
Social was good. Not much anymore.
Social's a good contact hitter.
Yeah.
No, that's enough. You haven't got him yet?
I had it a while ago when he was playing catch.
Thank you. I had it over at the bat case. I had it far from the bat case.
Taylor, you see why I got a reimbursement for bringing him here? You see why I got that? I brought him
Loosen up a little bit. You're a little too tight. That's what we were talking about before. You're tightening up too early. You tighten up at the last second you get ready to deal with it. That's a better idea, right? So when you tighten up, you're not going to be able to get that ball up tomorrow. Right?
Yeah, he knows. He's been up there before. No.
No, usually only certain guys that I've really wanted to pound that ball on the inside with his left hand. Then usually I stay tight up to the same spot. Right side. Like when I was facing a Willie McCovey, I'd get over that. Yeah.
All right.
This guy here will bust the whole salary cap right here.
I know it. Looks like it.
By himself.
I think he's been practicing, folks.
Right, with those big thighs of his.
Step down, really.
No, that's for
See what you're doing? You're stepping basically straight ahead. You're not using your hips going ahead. No, I'm talking about this. I'm trying to give you an idea. But I think you're throwing like this. Now, I would throw like this. There you go. Turn your foot. I guess you got too much stuff on it on around.
Okay, I went with it. Lazy.
Turn your ass on around when you get behind. That was a good pitch there. What are you talking about?
I say stop.
More pop there. Throw it harder. Tried to?
No, but it's a lot more work to turn. You tend to get tired.
Much quicker. Get your ass on it. That's all right, we'll get it. He's gonna let me get it. That ball's right there by you.
Sorry.
He's gonna let me get it. From strength. First one from the night. Watch your left. Some from my
I had struck Candy out 3 times. Hell of a ball game in Everettsfield. Now, Tuesday afternoon, I'm pitching in Cincinnati. The wind's blowing out hot as hell. So I warm up, can't be catch. So I warm up before the game. 5 pitches, man. He come walking out, he said, "Hey, Nate, you didn't throw like this to me Saturday." I said, "That's why I'm throwing like this now." And he said, "What are we gonna do?" I said, "Sit down low." You know, that was the best All-Star game I ever had because they were expecting a whole lot, and I 3 quick innings. Mantle came up. Wind's blowing out in Cincinnati, and that wasn't any bigger than Evans Field. You know, Cincinnati was small. And Mickey comes up, you know.
Yeah.
I was the most thrilled guy. I dove on that match and threw him out. And a guy once asked me, "Why are you in 5 All-Star games? What's your biggest thrill?" I said, "When Mantle bunted." That was the biggest thrill I ever had.
This year I'm not screwing it up. $500,000 you're going to pay him. You're right. You think he's worth it? Nah.
Who drew number 1?
Again.
Oh.
I'm not messing it up this year.
You want me to go right to the pitcher?
Hey, I'm gonna get on spot. He's late again. Hey, Spotty, what number are you?
Yeah, you're down there with him.
Hey, Craig. Nice going. Where did you get this over? Make sure I'm doing the brave.
You said Taylor is going to be gone. Yeah, Frank Robson already took him. He's number 1. He's got the first one.
Okay, here's the way it goes. Sarasota, Great Falls, Bakersfield, Vero Beach, Albuquerque.
His number is 24. His number 21, the first one.
Hey, Warren. Warren.
You have to name their brother first.
Hey, Robin.
Yes.
Where's that thing of food you're talking about?
Yeah.
Where you going for, Sue?
Here comes Guy's boy.
Boy.
You want me to fall out? Just the top category first. Hey, Frank. Frank. I give you 2 of them, number 1, the second round pick. Okay, guys, here's what we're going to do. You know the order you're in now. It's Sarasota, Great Falls, Bakersfield, Vero Beach, Albuquerque, San Antonio. Then San Antonio picks again and then goes back around. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? What we want you to do when you pick the guy that you want, mention the top category that's on the sheet where he's at, okay? So that we can pick it real quick and cross through it so we don't have any problems. So where we getting there? Okay, you guys are ready? Frank, you want to? Okay. All right. You guys following?
We got it.
Okay, you got it? Huh? You got it?
You have 30 seconds to pick your next.
Well, I don't need 30 seconds.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Solano.
Taylor.
Which one? Well, we knew that. We knew that.
Steve Taylor?
Yeah.
Steve Taylor.
Steve Taylor.
Okay. Billy?
We got Allshape. What position? Outfield. We got Rollins.
Rollins. What position? Yeah. Pitching?
Rollins. Okay.
Okay. Rollins?
Yeah.
Got it? Okay. Hoyt?
We got 2 picks.
You got 2 picks now.
We got 2 picks.
Manny Lawrence.
Okay. What position? Where's he at? What's up?
Down here.
Okay. You got him? Yeah. Okay. Lou?
Oh, we're going to go with Corday.
Ken Corday. Under pitcher? Okay. Billy?
Yes.
We got Price.
Gone. Net price is gone.
R-Y-Z-E-W-I-C.
Which one?
John. We got John.
No.
No.
Wait a minute.
You tell about who has to be together and who's going to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm just doing now because I haven't picked yet. Who just got picked?
Brunswick.
Hero? Okay. Here's one other little thing. We got some guys here that is a family of the Grosses. They want to be on the same team. So
I selected number one.
My official Dodgers. You seen the rest of it? It's on mine. Yeah? Who you with? Thanks. Hey. Banks. Ray Banks. And, we got a poster? No, it's just ours. Hernandez. I mean, Lawrence. Lawrence is going to play short. Always. I don't know who first baseman is. You guys are on the same team? Yeah, Rock. He's going to have you guys running. I'm glad I'm not playing for him. We can't make it the first. Running. Who else? Anybody else?
Les Lewis. Who on left?
This is my big time. I make a good hit. They cut me 35 years ago. I want to give them the chance to make up for amends right now.
You're about to get even, huh?
That's right. This is the time. They're going to realize the mistake they made when they said no. Actually, what they said was, how's your mother's heart? And I said, what do you mean? They said, we want you to go break it because you can't hit a curveball.
Oh.
So I've been practicing for 35 years on hitting curveballs, and I'm ready now.
Well, that's cold, isn't it?
Yeah, it was cruel. It took right off of me. But I loved them the whole time. From
You know
Brooklyn.
what team you're on yet?
No, not yet. Looking forward. That's why I'm apprehensive.
I knew you looked a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was counting on this being the big time. That would make my big break. And I had an agent here. We were signed for a big contract. Hey, Dan.
This too will pass.
That's right. That's right. And the worst part of it all is the fantasy ends and you're back at work.
Right now, there's 3 million people in Tampa who don't care.
That's true. That's probably true.
Got a good team, Cat?
How could you forget it?
It's on my team. They gave me Here come. I said, champ. I tried to get all of it.
Two. Who's managing Albert? God. Oh.
What shape we're meant to go. All right, let's all cheer now, guys. There it is, right there. There's the team.
Guy, who's the manager on the team?
I'll read them off to you.
One more.
God's being good to me. There's one guy I saw in batting practice that I did not want to pitch under any circumstances. He's on my team.
What team you on?
Mark! Nyberg! You made it! You got it! Hey! Yeah, I don't see anybody.
Okay, I'll read off where you play here and who the managers are in just a minute. As soon as I get my sheet.
Where do you live now? I thought the whole world was closed when I talked about it.
Charlie, you're talking to me, man.
That's your cousin.
He's got perfect motion and coordination, and he kicks his foot up and turns him around. He really is an artist.
You get up to hit against be loose. Be loose. No, not wise. Just you ain't make a fool out of him. To maintain our girlish dignity.
Name and locker number. No uniform number, just name and locker number. On everything, your underwear, your jock, uniform, everything. Everything you're going to wash.
This here is Thursday morning, the 11th of February, and we're here in the Los Angeles Dodgers locker room, nearly empty now after many, many days of frustrating, heartbreaking times. What am I doing? I don't know. Okay, this is the first guy in the locker room on the first day of the Ultimate Fantasy Camp. We're in here all alone. Is this your first time?
Yes. Very first trip.
Dodger Town?
Yes, sir.
Are you having any fun?
Oh, yes. Worked out yesterday afternoon. Had a lot of fun.
Oh, were you one of those out there early, the 43 I saw in the field yesterday?
Yes, I was one of them that tried to hurt myself out there yesterday.
Did you take it easy?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so you're going to be in good shape today.
I hope so. Everything looks real good.
So have you met any of the Hall of Famers yet?
Yes, met quite a few last night, met a few on the field yesterday. Saw Don Drysdale, Robin Roberts, quite a few of them.
Regular guys, aren't they?
Yes.
Were you surprised?
I was really surprised. Real nice.
You can actually stand there and talk to them?
Yes.
And they'll tell you stories?
Oh, yes.
Half of which you can believe and half of which you shouldn't believe.
It's true.
But it's, these guys have had some careers, haven't they?
Oh, every one of them. Unbelievable. Especially when I was reading the profiles in the room. It brings back a lot of just what they've accomplished.
Oh, yeah. The thing is, they're approachable and you can talk to them, and it's an easy thing to get along with.
Real nice. I mean, real nice. And they just seem to go out of their way to answer any questions, to help you any way they can.
It's going to be that way all week. That's the way it always is down here.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Number 89. Well, let's see. We had Humphrey. Can't remember his last name. But
These
Humphrey
guys are
was
good down here, aren't they? Though they never lose anything.
Never.
It's amazing.
What's really amazing is you come in at the end of the day, you go in the shower, and your equipment's back on the rack, all clean, washed, and ready for another day.
I have no idea how they do it. They got those bags now, but before they didn't have those bags. I just couldn't imagine how they kept it straight, you know?
That's really amazing. They do a good job. Well, I'm ready.
Are you having fun yet, Nick?
I had fun starting the moment I pulled into the driveway.
Yeah.
And it doesn't end till the day I leave.
Did you get that old anticipation again?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's fun, isn't it?
It's fun. You get anxious to get out on the field and start swinging and catching and running and acting like a kid again.
It's amazing how fast the week goes once you get started, isn't it?
I was thinking about that yesterday, that the first day's over already, and 5 more to go, and before you know it, it's all over, and you're looking forward to the next year,
Yeah,
coming back and doing it all over again.
pack up your little hurts and sores and your bats and balls and uniforms and have to go home and go back to normalcy, huh?
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, it takes you a few days afterwards to recover, but it's worth it. It's great.
I know you have fun. I've seen you in action.
Oh, yeah. That's what it's all about, coming out here and acting like a kid, just running around, just having fun.
Do you really?
Thanks, Coach.
I can go ahead and purchase these jerseys.
Got everything marked now?
I think I'm all set to go. Just try everything on, make sure it fits.
How's the stomach? Any butterflies?
Oh, no.
No?
No butterflies.
You ready for this, huh?
All set.
It's going to be a heck of a week.
I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting. Let's hope the weather holds out.
I think the weather will be fine. In fact, I think it'll be a little bit cooler. It might be even better for play.
That'd be good.
Eager anticipation.
All set to go.
First time at Dodgertown.
First time here, right?
What was your first impression?
Oh, I guess I'm just impressed with the grounds, how well kept everything is. Before we get onto the fields.
You're going to need your old lady today.
Need what?
You're going to need your old lady today. That's what Tommy Davis calls the garbage bags you lay on when the ground is wet out there. Yeah. When they say get your old ladies out, you'll know what they're talking about.
So that's what they mean, huh?
Yeah, that's what it is. This should burn off by about 10 o'clock.
Well, that's good. I hope so.
We've never had a bad day here.
That's what they say. I left such nice weather back in Los Angeles. Hate to have rain over here.
Well, you can if you want to.
I mean, I'll get down to my nothings if you want me to.
In the locker room, I have a policy. Shoulders up, that's it.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
I'll stand on the stool so you can get a better shot then.
Uh-oh, I got an extortionist here. How you feeling this morning?
Sore as hell.
Uh-oh, you were
Everything
out there.
hurts.
You were out there yesterday afternoon?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
My age cannot take this kind of nonsense.
Did you try too much too soon?
No, I just tried a little bit and it still hurt.
Is that right? Hey, Bill Bueller will fix you right up today.
Hell, I had ice on my shoulder yesterday. Now I need ice on my elbow.
Well, that training room has about 5 tons of ice delivered every morning. So you won't be hurt for ice. Listen, they'll get those kinks out by tomorrow. You'll feel good.
How are you this morning?
Put a little heat on.
Yeah, that's what I need.
They keep everybody going. They do a good job in there.
Oh, I heard it was messed up. The Dodgers play. The Dodgers are playing 6 nights a week. They play Saturday night.
Draw flies. Everybody leaves early anyway.
They get there fashionably late.
You're my kind of guy. Three. That's awesome. This is a half-a-day workout? Thought we were going to play ball.
You know, I'm going to coach my ferocious. I'm going to find you guys.
Maybe this time, maybe next time we'll win. These guys look great.
Don't wind them up.
Be sure to tell everybody that, let me have your attention, please. Tell everybody
Tell everybody the dome is rising. Pass the word around. The dome is rising.
They keep on telling you the dome is rising. Carry your dome.
The dome is rising.
Which dome?
Huh?
Which dome?
I'll tell you. That's the Tuesday. Hey, I'll tell you. The dome is
I'll be going out there.
Selling what we play basketball about.
Stateside, the 280-pound fullback from Florida. High school kid.
What?
Where are you going to get him? Every morning you got to play.
Look at that nice hat Harmon's got on.
Yeah, that's right.
He's going to do it again this year.
Look at that hat.
Hey, Robin.
You got another one uniform. Good morning. Hey.
My name is Director of We're honored and pleased to have you all here with us this week. We're looking forward to a great meeting. Forecast is better, but it's not better than Saturday, so we hope we can hang in with this weather for the next couple of days. I'm sure Guy will tell you our philosophy on that. I just want to give you a couple of camp rules so there's no embarrassment during the course of the week. This camp is for you guys and for you guys alone. We want to have the best possible week. We don't want any strangers that we might be embarrassed about tossing out of the building that you guys might be embarrassed about that we have to ask them to leave. So no guests during the course of the week in any Dodger Town building. Please wear proper attire to venue. That just means no shorts, no cutoffs, no thongs. Let's introduce Craig. Craig Cowan is the general manager of the Dodger Town Sports and Conference Center. Craig will go over a couple more of the rules with you. And Craig and his staff are the people that really put this camp together and put it on. I'm sure you've seen his name or the secretary's name or correspondence over the course of the years. He's a great guy. If there's anything that he or I and I can do for you during the course of the week or any suggestions that you have, please feel free to give it to any one of the three of us. Craig Cowan.
As Terry mentioned, Terry and I thought we were very close together on these camps. For those of you who aren't aware, this is our third opening of our baseball camp. We've also had 5 Los Angeles Dodgers baseball camps. This is really due to the input that we have gotten from our veterans. Last year, we had 50% in our November camp of the participants were veteran returnees. And from all of that, we just continue to grow as far as maintaining the game rules, et cetera, going over all that. This camp, we've got over 25% of the participants were veterans. We've got guys such as Frank Jacobson, who hasn't been to camp yet, in all 8 camps. Junior is out there today. I think this is 1983 camp, the first one, but he's been to all the others. I believe the next guy down the line is Norman, sits next to Junior. This is his, what, 5th camp? So I just want to thank all you guys because what we've seen in past camps is with the veterans here really builds a lot of morale of the 20 veterans that are here. As we've stated to the veterans in the past, we want all of you to experience the same training as the Dodgers experienced during spring training. They'll be arriving 2 days after you depart. You depart on the 16th, and the pitchers and catchers and non-roster players arrive here on the 18th. A little extra treat for us this year is the day that we depart, we're hosting a Japanese team, the Tsumishi Dragons. They'll be here. The Dodger teams against spring training. Let us know if there's anything else that we can do to improve the camp. Go to Guy, go to Terry, go to any of the other staff people, and we'll be glad to discuss it. We'll also be having, I'm not sure what night, Guy will go over that also, but a veterans meeting where we collect a lot of input from all of the veterans that have been in previous camps. Besides the Hall of Famers that we have here today, we also have and the minor league instructors from the Dodger organization and the trainers, we have a few key individuals here that we have on our team.
Let's hear it.
He's the Dodger photographer for the last 40 years. Herb? Since 48, that's 40 years. He'll be doing all the black and white shots. That'll be sent to the different newspapers and to the media for coverage for the camp and to your hometown newspapers. Speaking of pictures, we've got Jack Duckworth who'll be taking all the color pictures. I don't know where Jack is. Oh, Jack's up there. The gentleman over there on my left, up in the stand. He'll be responsible for taking your baseball card pictures, your team pictures, and also all the action shots during the week. Now, the action shots will be posted in the locker room every day, and if you see something that you like, you can go to Jack, and they are available for purchase. But basically, Jack's here to take all of those color pictures. Speaking of pictures, you also get a 2-hour video. It'll be about a month or two after the camp because of all the editing. We'll also be playing back all the raw footage of these videos every night and afternoon in the lounge. The people responsible for the video over to my left is Dan Giller and his daughter Claudia. The other person I wanted you to recognize, because you'll be, please let us know. We'll try to make it the best camp ever. I'd like now to introduce a gentleman that's had numerous responsibilities. All of the field activities during spring training is coordinated by him. Sat for many years.
Many years.
Recently, this year, he was appointed the field supervisor for the entire Dodger minor league system. And the man who runs this camp, Harmon. That field supervisor title, I've got to do all the crab grass out of all the fields in the entire Dodger organization, and that's tough to do.
My job is to set up the schedules, see that you get the training that you need to become a better baseball player. I got the broad shoulders, I will listen to anybody has any problems, come see me, I will see if I can't get your mind free of those problems, sex life, anything you want to talk to me about, I'll do it. Now, I want you to know, Fred alluded to the fact that we have a veterans meeting every year, and we pitch the suggestions and the ideas, and you veterans in these camps, the campers right for a number of years that we didn't have lighter wooden bats. Now we've got lighter wooden bats for everybody. Most of the game rules that we've got now, you fellows have made. So we've taken everything that we can from you, we pick your brains, we try to make these camps better each and every year. First man I want to introduce. What is it, boy? Number 1 or number 2, excuse today? Number 1, Black Tiger. One of baseball's greatest catchers, Boy Campanella. .573 career home runs, Harmon Killebrew. I want to say that Juan Marichal was listed to come here. And Juan's mother is very, very sick, and he just cannot make it. So we're sorry that he isn't here. Robert Roberts, one of the aces of the Phillies. Only player to ever be selected most valuable player in both leagues, Frank Roberts. The Duke Snyder. Still studying his, trying to pick out his lineup over in the clubhouse and hasn't made it over here yet. The winningest left-handed pitcher in baseball, Warren Spahn. 6 years of having an ERA of less than 2, Mike Wilhelm. Considered one of baseball's premier hitters, Billy Williams. Now, the Dodger staff class, the young people that you're going to get to know, and they're going to do a lot of work for you. These guys will spend extra time with you, getting, feeling, anything you want. Leo Casado is our hitting instructor. Harry Thomas, the manager of our winning Albuquerque group. John Shoemaker, the manager of the girls' beach. Chico Fernandez, our prime infield instructor. Joe Alvarez, the winning manager of the Sarasota infield. Dennis Llewellyn, the pitching coach from the girls' beach. Now, these guys will work with you and work with you and do anything, but just make sure that you ask them some questions, and they will help you any way they can. Now let's go over a couple of things here that we get it all straight now. Let's go, first of all, we are a safety-oriented pitches and running the bases. When you warm up, and our instructions will show you this morning, warm up all in the same direction. You don't warm up in the same direction some of them out there repeating. Do not leave baseballs in the glove on the field. Because you know what would happen. You just picture if you were running or even against the batting cages when live hitting is being taken. You lean against the batting cage and somebody can let that back roll or a foul ball come and it hits you. Okay, anybody have any questions on that at all? All right, now let me explain a couple other things. We're going to have today a section this morning where we're going to divide you up. The outfielders in one group, infielders all in the group, and the pitchers and catchers all in the group. All come from guys who want to put a little bit extra on the ball. If you stay within yourself, you're going to throw strikes, and that's all you need to do. So today you're going to go out and you're going to be in those three groups. You're going to hit. Today when you go out, you're going to have the group, and at 12:15, all of them are going to meet over in the Campanella room, and we're going to have a draft. We will draft you so that there will be 6 complete teams. You will play a 5-inning schedule. Each team will play 1 game in the morning. Find the raw footage of the days that you played today, and they're always very interesting. Now, let me go over the game rules. Now, we went over last night, we had a meeting with all the managers, and they're the ones that we really have to go over these rules with, because we have found in the past that there has been some cheating. Outside the rules a little bit. And that's why we have it printed up. We're going to have one of these put in each of the lockers. We'll have 2 put in Robin Robertson's locker. One's going to stay right with it all the way around. All right. And you will hit in that order every day. The next game's order, following day, will begin with the players behind the final out of the day before. Now, the reason we do this is so that everybody gets an equal number of times to pass. This will ensure all campers an equal time to pass. On defense, all campers who are healthy should play at least 4 or 5 innings on defense. You work with your manager on this. We use our 2 coaches to pitch only in 1 game. Walk 3 guys in a row and get to that guy. So we have no intention to walk. And by the way, one day, I had no accident in campus were furious about that. Now, with the injuries that we do get to play, the last man to make it out in the lineup is that runner. See why we have to put that in? Because these managers will put the fastest guy they got in the run all the time. So it's the last man to make an out in the lineup becomes that runner. Now, sometimes in the middle of the week when you want to hit, but you can't run to first base, we can have a runner for the hitter. We will have a line drawn back of home plate. And the only thing I ask you on this, 2 things. You cannot start running to first base until the batter makes contact. And 2, don't stand up there and look at the batter. because a foul ball can come off and hit you in the face. Just turn your back to it a little bit, and as soon as you hear the contact, take off and run. Now, runners may advance. Instead of stealing, runners may advance on a pass ball or a wild pitch. One base only.
The pitch. I wish I could take that off there and show you how big it is. Okay. See, that's the lawyer. I saw that hand creeping up right away. Once the ball crosses that line, the umpire...
That's all a bunch of malarkey. You are going to have the greatest week of your life here. The thing that you want to do is take advantage of all of these Hall of Famers. How many people in this country have the opportunity to have all of these Hall of Famers in the lounge, in the dining room, out on the field, and you guys get around them? There are very few. There are a select few. Take advantage. Ask questions. These guys will answer your questions. Don't leave this camp without your questions answered. I want you to have a lot of fun. Enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. If you have any injuries, I want you to go in and see the trainers. Get it taken care of properly. We very seldom lose anybody out of this camp. If you take care of yourself and you be careful, you're going to finish the whole week and you're going to have a great time. Make this one of the biggest experiences you've ever had. Now, let me introduce a fellow who will talk a little bit more about it.
And the man I'm going to introduce now will talk to you a little bit about the get through here. We're going to set you not only in the morning, we're going to set you in the afternoon, we're going to set you at the end of the day. Bill Bueller.
Well, I have to say, really, the meeting of today, sunscreen really important. We have it with us all the time. Be sure you put it on. The sunscreen really carry up really fast. The other item is fluid. For every 12 ounces of fluid you have, you should have at least 24 ounces of water. So some of you guys owe an awful lot of water. If we were on the field, cart has the Gatorade and water, but really what's the fluid? You don't think you're firing that much, especially today, if you are losing water, we want to make sure you don't feel that position body imbalance. The other thing is funny the project said for the back days, the hamstring, so spend plenty of time stretching them out, and we'll have a section over here. If anything that comes up, come in and see it. So there was someone that said that this is a pattern, they got someone that said, the plane. Okay, everybody out here in this area with the mix of unit for the second. Legs back to the center. Bring your right leg up, wrap your arms around the thigh. Bring it to your chest. And now slowly extend the lower leg. Let's go the other side. Bring it to your chest. And now slowly extend the lower leg. Feet on the ground, arms up over your head. Reach with your arms as you raise your hips. The hips as high as you can and tighten the butt. And down, laying on your right side. Let's go the other side. And both legs off the ground. On your stomach. Hands under your head. Raise the right leg and hold. And down on the left leg up and hold. And down back with the right leg. But bend the knee and get the thigh off the ground. Stay with the room. Keep your hip. Arms to the side, elbows are bent. Bring your shoulder blades together, keeping your head on the ground. Arms to your side.
Close-ups of the instructors with their clipboards.
Let's go the other side. Right leg out, left hand up. Both knees on the ground, hands out in front. Sit back on your heels and lower your shoulders. Now round your back, suck in your stomach, and slowly. Now lean forward. And now lean back, push the hips forward, tighten the buttocks, and look up. Sitting down, feet together. Get the heels in the groin as close as you can, and let the knees fall off. Extend the left leg, bring the right leg up to your chest. Block your knee so you don't put too much stress on them. Let's go to the other side.
I started laughing. That's a good story. You got a big head? Awesome. I like it. You got a big head? It's good. 34. Aluminum bats? Yeah, batting the cage. Sure. No doubt about that. Don't sway now. Okay. Good. Ready?
Come on, 5, 6 minutes together. We're all at camp. You missed lineman here.
Ready?
Okay.
Hi, Dad. Nice to meet you. Hi, Harmon. Hi, Alex. Nice to meet you. Hi, John.
Hi, Dan Meister.
Hi, Dad.
Purpose is this now, we're just trying to get the ball. That's all, just get the ball. Just get the ball. We don't even got it.
Hi, Bob.
What's your name? Yeah, mine. California. Last year we camped at 85 degrees, sunny today, rather.
It's going to be okay this afternoon.
Think it'll burn off?
I did some stuff. And I didn't walk. I caught the guy. I called the guy up. I called the police. I called the guy up. He said, "I'll look up. I'll look it up." I said, "Yeah." I just wasn't supposed to get up there. One guy was out there. Taking it out. I saw a guy hitting yesterday. Oh, yeah, 44. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, on the field, on the top field. Yeah. Thanks a lot. He's feeling real good.
Relax. Stay in balance. There's nothing to this stuff. Where? I spent a lot of time with Davis. That's right. That's right. That's right. Just relax. 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 That's the whole world. Steve Severn. You know Steve Severn? You gotta be careful not to get to one hand. I put a pad inside my glove. It's things like that. No, I gotta win the pad.
Everybody else can make that choice.
The guy that gets let's have the guys that after they swing they help get the ball.
Well, we've made it.
Yeah. Keep it rolling. 15 or 50.
15 or 50. Something in between.
Okay.
Tough on you, got tough on the whole guy. I had one of the players, oh, sure. That's the first thing he said to me, we were talking about.
you doing? Golfers don't like it. Golfers are very... That's right. How did you know? Because I took Eagle saying that to hit that hole in one. Yeah. They did. Yeah, they've kept very soft hands. Like,
Oh, really? They don't?
Yeah, because
no grip?
Because it's feel.
That was a good pitch, though. They're not good.
Dave Harmon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Relax, make contact. That's the big thing.
How'd you hit him?
Right.
Woman. Hey, you guys, what you ought to do is everybody jump in and help them pick up those balls and it'll go quicker. All right, how's it going?
No.
We had a couple of guys.
That's usually what's funny. Come on, Dad, you can't stay in there while he hits.
I can't go like this.
Stay in there, Greg.
Yeah.
Make contact, right, Ernie?
You take another picture.
Chico.
Yeah,
tell her.
Yeah, what we're going to do here on this.
Yeah, I talked to him.
Yeah, over there, yeah. Say a few words and...
Our middle guys, so we'll help you just talk.
No, they're going to take the middle infielder, so we don't need to go.
You want to go down?
Control.
I don't care. We don't have to rotate up to you. No, but if we're out here, they see you.
Take a
For the final tape for the camp.
J.C. Higgins, Sears and Roebuck. That was my person there. Really? How far did it go? Turtle Beach? I mean, you're here, right? Hey, that's not too sharp.
That's what I was saying. I kind of sad after last year. Reggie Jackson, if he is retired.
Yeah.
For the last link to my final, I played against Reggie Jackson.
All right, Richard, let's go, baby.
We shouldn't do that.
There you go.
Huh?
Come to Papa.
So they hit the swing. Swing. You don't hit the ball, you swing. It's a swing. You gotta have the swing. That's right. You got the swing, you ain't got the thing. You gotta have the swing.
We go get it.
You got to spend a lot of time.
Be ready, hit it out of his place. Better. Hit the ball right up front.
No problem. Relax. Take another one. Take another one.
Okay.
Warren? Hey, Guy. Guy?
Wait a minute.
Mr. Taylor. Hey, Jerry Royce. Mr. Taylor.
You're killing his concentration.
Gets this guy, make sure he doesn't hurt too much.
That's enough.
Hurry him off this.
That's enough.
Loosen it up.
No. That's enough. Don't show him too much. That's enough. Oh, jeez.
Robbie, don't show him too much.
You haven't got him yet?
I had him a little while ago when he's playing catch.
Thank you. I had him from over there at the bat cage. I had it marked from the bat cage.
Taylor, you see why I got a reimbursement for bringing you here now? You see why I got
You bring him in?
I brought him. That's why I got
If I draft him, I'll take you right now. That's right.
Greg. You're the first one I played.
Everybody. Let's see. Guy, I think we have to change the rules. We're going to have to pitch to everybody one day because everybody's got him at the top.
That's what we tell you to stay within. There's no need to rush and try.
Hey, Robbie.
Robbie, there's Saul Rocket.
Throw a couple of back.
All right.
All right, next.
Hey.
He had one cheater. One guy was good.
Look at this. What is supposed to
I feel like it's always got constant control on that right side.
Sure, everybody gets in to throw some now. Want to go over here?
Always have to control that right side.
And when we actually practiced, you know, and when they'd warm up the bullpen, they'd actually step out and press. No.
That's all right, we'll get it.
Just take it. No, just ten shots working with
Let me get it.
I didn't catch what he's saying.
Hey, son, we're not supposed to be signing right now.
Okay, money is involved now. Probably made nice money to do, I don't know.
You throw better from a stretch because you already have your hips cocked. Yeah. Doesn't matter getting used to it. You've done it your way, you know, all the while. It's difficult for you to change it.
Terry, we had a game.
Never throw with a jacket on. Pardon? Never throw with a jacket on. Sling it on.